Good morning, good evening, good night. Hey Alex, how you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. Is this Claudio?
This is me, my friend. How you doing? Long time no chat.
Yeah, all is good. All is good. Being great, preparing for Middle Asia, pretty big conference and hackathon that is going to happen in Seoul.
Yeah. That's we're gonna freestyle this conversation, Alex. So feel free to jump into whatever conversation you feel it's good for the Metapool community and the Aurora community to know. But anyhow, so I reckon there might be a few people here that are new to the space. So I reckon let's start with just a simple introduction on who's Alex, how you got into crypto, and what role are you playing right now at Aurora. So let's kick it off with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So hello everybody. For those who doesn't know me, my name is Alex Shevchenko. I'm the CEO of Aurora Labs, the company that is developing main products for Aurora. We have developed and maintaining Rainbow Bridge, Aurora Engine or the Aurora mainnet, and Aurora Cloud, which is our solution for blockchain containers. Besides that, we have several smaller projects or smaller products like Aurora Plus, for example. I'm a techie. I'm a PhD in applied physics and math, and back in 2015, I was turning my eyes into the blockchain since I thought that this is a great tech that can solve many of the problems of the trust. Right. For me, the first particular use case that I was interested in was the use case of democratic elections, and I hope that at some point in time I will see some countries during my lifetime. I will see countries that I find blockchain for the election systems.
Cool. So anyhow, just also rounded introductions. My name is Claudio. I'm the co-founder of Metapool. We're the first liquid staking solution on Near in Aurora. And we just recently announced that we're decentralizing the protocol over on the Near and Aurora ecosystem. So we're launching governance 0.1 of our Metapool DAO fully on chain. So really excited about that. And this is going to be something that I wanted to bring this up. I know, Alex, you've just a few weeks ago posted on the update of the tokenomics 2.0 for Aurora. Can you share with us a little bit of the main highlight of that post and what was the goal for it and the discussion that came from that update to the tokenomics about the Aurora EVM blockchain?
Thanks, Claudio, for asking this question, and thanks for following our updates. So, Aurora token was launched as a governance token in the very beginning of the Aurora project around 1.5 years ago, and since then there were discovered by the community several issues with it, right? Or several absent pieces. And this update was mainly focused on making sure that these pieces are kind of covered. So there are several things now that are introduced with Aurora token. The first use case is the burn of the Aurora token. With each transaction that is happening on any Aurora product, there is a portion of near fees that are transferred to the smart contracts. This portion is by default for near protocol. It equals 30% of the gas fees, right? So, which means that this is some kind of interesting mechanics of the near protocol. In case a transaction is in a smart contract, from all of the gas that is spent within this particular smart contract, 30% are transferred to the smart contract, and 70% is burned, right? This is how Near protocol works. So we are going to use this 30% to buy back Aurora tokens and burn them. So this is the first kind of burning use case for Aurora token. It puts Aurora token on par with any other L1 tokens, right? And we are kind of closing the loop here and making Aurora token equal to the L1 protocol tokens, right? Because for Near token there are no other use cases except for staking Near in order to be able to validate transactions, and also burn-in mechanism, right? That's literally it. This is all what you can do with Near tokens without, well, by default, without any other solutions like Metapool, right? So this is one thing. Then the other thing was the you know kind of introduction, some clarity into the unlock of the Aurora tokens to Aurora DAO, because previously it was not specified. And one additional thing that was again clarified, and this is the staking rewards within the Aurora staking, right? Aurora token is staked in.
Okay. Alex, I think you're on mute, but if you're having some issues, just put an emoji up, and then I'll continue a little bit of that conversation. Yeah, I think what you posted was really, really important, right? I think right now there's been a lot of issues with other protocols on the transparency. Transparency has been an issue, right? And more importantly, on how the protocol will be evolving, how the protocol will be accruing value and delivering value to its token holders, right? Us, we're facing the same issue, right? We haven't been as outspoken as Aurora, right? That is something that we're working on with this version 0.1.
Hey,
Oh, there you
Claudio.
go. Yes, I can hear you now, Alex. Go right ahead. So anyhow, so just a quick recap. So Alex was sharing with us about what he recently shared, Tokenomics 2.0 for Aurora. Also on our side, we're really excited because we're also going to be launching version 0.1. I reckon Aurora has been, we've launched more so or less around the same time, 1 year and a half, and I think we're going to also gonna be almost 2 years for us. But definitely really excited what Aurora has brought to the Near ecosystem as an EVM compatible chain. And so for us supporting liquid staking on
Hey,
there,
1, 2, 3. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear it now, Alex. Anyhow, okay. So I reckon Alex said something really important about staking over in Aurora, how it is a fixed amount of Aurora tokens being delivered to those Aurora token holders who are staking, and so that's something that I really want to like talk with him about it, right? Like what's the scalability for it? I understand that some there's a cap limit, so that I think it's February 2024, and then it's going to be reviewed again. Just on the emissions side, I reckon right now that a burning mechanism has been introduced. That's super important because yes, you need to balance an inflation asset. Um, Alex, can you hear us? Okay, so you can interrupt me at any time, Alex. And so bringing in a liquid staking token right now called STR or Staked Aurora was an important first step for us into integrating more tightly with the Aurora ecosystem. As you know, the Aurora blockchain, its consensus and security mechanism are running fully on the Near Protocol network because they're running. And here, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong. Can you hear me?
Yes, and I can speak now.
Perfectly.
Great.
There you go, Alex. So go right ahead, man. Finish what you were stating. I think the last time we heard you were regarding the staking rewards, how it's a fixed amount done on a yearly basis, and then we lost you completely. So go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm driving right now, but I stopped to have a good connection. So yeah, now one of the changes is the stake and rewards, right? They were unknown before, but now with this update, they are fixed from now to eternity, right? So and this is something that can give to people who are staking Aurora tokens some kind of an understanding of the stake and rewards, how they are going to work over time, right? That's an important piece. An additional thing that was introduced is the way forward for the community treasury. So there is 20% of Aurora tokens that are allocated um, for the community treasury, and now there is a straightforward mechanism how this thing is going to be integrated. By the way, this initiative was very well taken by the Aurora community, and thanks everyone who is already participating in all of the discussions around implementation of this solution. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex. So I reckon one of the big things that I discussed before was what's the like the launching and maintaining and operating a DAO. It's three different things altogether. So, in your perspective, I want to get your insights into it, right? Like the Aurora DAO. Tell us a little bit how it's composed. How does governance? How can Aurora token holders execute on their governing rights? And tell us a little bit of what have you learned, right? I think that's a very important first step into making something better for the community and be community focused, right? So go right ahead, Alex.
Yeah, thanks for the question. So here are the things that I understood and things that we learned over time. First of all, um, it is pretty hard to keep people motivated in participating in the community in general, right? So the initial idea for Aurora tokens for those for how they should work was pretty simple. Let's split uh, let's split people who are taking part in the governance of Aurora into two pieces, right? One is the just token holders, and another one is the uh, kind of delegates from the token holders who are going to be on a daily basis take care of Aurora protocol. And the idea was simple. Let's make sure that token holders are able to uh, elect these delegates on some kind of cadence, for example, once a year. This is something that is simple, understandable. This is very, very similar to how modern democracies are working on some cadence. They are electing parliament and also a president, and then parliament and president are taking care of the country, right? So this is kind of simple setup there. Um, and unfortunately, this setup is not yet implemented, right? However, there are some pieces of it that are already done. And for example, uh, the voting power are or like the smart contracts for making sure that people are able to vote are implemented right now, and everybody in the Aurora ecosystem are getting so-called vote tokens for the elections of the as we call it council members, right? Now, the actual election is not yet implemented. However, again, as I said, everything is set up for it. Like I encourage the community to take care of the elections. Like it is just some kind of process that should be followed, right? And participation. However, what we learned is that there are lots of interesting things in how this election should be executed. Should we allow non-KYC entities to participate in the elections? How we are going to protect from people creating multiple accounts there? How we are going to how the token holders are going to understand what a person or what an entity that is represented in the council, how it is going to vote, right? Should be there like an impeachment procedure. It should be a salary to the council members, right? There are tons of questions there, and there are obviously tons of questions on the procedure, how people need to apply. Does anyone able to apply? How people are going to discover the candidates in the council, and stuff like that. Well, I've done a round of kind of thinking about this stuff, and I was putting down on the Aurora Governance Forum a proposal for this. You're able to find it into the further decentralization of the governance article or proposal on our forum. Some reasonable comments, and then just the discussion kind of burned out. However, there is another portion of this, and because this piece of the governance is slow, I would say, right? People are not able to implement it really fast or change the course of the ecosystem really fast. Like there was an idea from the very beginning of the existence of Aurora to give something to the Aurora token holders to be able to influence the direction of the development of the ecosystem on a very fast pace. And this thing was called a community treasury. So 20% of the Aurora token total supply was allocated to this community treasury. And until recently, there were kind of no development. This money have been sitting there, and this is something that needs to be done. And the idea within the token update that I was proposing is that, well, we can implement it somewhat similar to what Curve is doing, right? And the Curve model there is pretty simple. This is actually the only governance model that they have. There is quite a large amount of Curve or CRV tokens in the smart contract, and these tokens are getting unlocked over time, and they are unlocked as a incentives or a farming incentives to some of the Curve pools. So the owner of Curve token, now he's able to incentivize some particular pools in case he wants these pools to obtain supposedly higher liquidity. And obviously, like a standard thing that is going to happen is that imagine I'm an investor in Curve, and I'm a user of Curve. I'm providing my liquidity into some pool, and then obviously I'm going to vote for allocating incentives to this particular pool, right? So some interesting dynamics can be done with this, and the cadence on which these decisions are made in Curve are like a weekly basis. So on weekly basis there is a snapshot, people get disincentives and so on. So, and the idea was that, hey, we can do a similar thing for the Aurora ecosystem with this community treasury, so people can on a weekly basis decide where tokens are going. But now what we are able to introduce here is that it may be not only the incentives into some kind of pools. Just anyone can come, propose the idea on the governance forum, and say, okay, I would like to get this amount of tokens for this particular thing. It can be incentives for an AMM. For example, Tree Solaris can come and say, yes, we would like to have some incentives for this particular pool. And then people who are allocating their liquidity for this pool, well, probably are going to vote for this. Or, for example, just a separate project is going to come and say, hey, we would like to launch some application on Aurora that is going to be public good, and then, but we would like to get some money for this, for the development, or maybe we don't need to have money for the development. Everything is developed, but in order to launch it, we need liquidity, so we need some incentives in order to do this, right? Something like this. So any type of the request can be handled. That was This is the idea for the fast fast-paced governance, I would say. So we are at the moment we are progressing with this setup, with this double setup. The councils that are deciding on some kind of bigger decisions, and the idea behind it is that there is a limited amount of councils, right? At the moment, there are 13, as far as I remember. There are 13 companies and individuals who are participating in the council, and it is just easier to get them together. They are pretty diverse, so they are able to voice different concerns, right? And at the same time we are able to make sure that the community is participating in the community governance, and as soon as community is strong enough, they are involved in the governance, then councils will be able to transfer more and more Aurora tokens to the community, right? So my ideal scenario is that with this double setup, this is just a kind of middle position. We are halfway down the road of the decentralized governance, and in the end, the full kind of democracy victory would be at the moment when councils just have no money to operate, right? And uh, they have no power, right? And this can be done once the Aurora community is involved enough, and there are this good situation when we have Aurora kind of like a country with very involved citizens, right? So sorry for a longer answer, but
No,
yeah,
all good, all good.
this is the setup.
No, this is great, right? At the end of the day, it's something everybody's hearing it directly from you, Alex, right? And sometimes reading a community post or a community, yeah, forum post um, lacks that human touch, right? In the sense of just understanding how excited you are behind it, right? All these the council members behind it, the vision of it, right? And so that's why we're having like this discussion today. We're going through the same ordeals, right? It's like we're launching. We're coming from a different background, because to be totally honest here, we Metapool doesn't have a big ecosystem right in behind it, right? Aurora does, right? And several products, right? We got Aurora Plus, now Aurora Cloud. All of these different products and services are riding or leveraging the technology your team built around Aurora. And so I reckon, yes, your governance structure will be more complex than just a liquid staking platform, right? For us, is really straightforward. It is we're gonna launch a governance around how allocation of the protocol fees are delegated, right, or allocated, sorry, and because it's a straightforward, that's where people's are going to be more interested in participating, them deciding how the protocol fees are going to be spent in order to grow the protocol, and more importantly, also get exposure to those protocol fees by participating in the governance. So we believe that that's something very new. Yes, it is a little bit scary in the sense that nobody's done it before, right? And we're putting decentralization at the heart of the protocol, which is how much it earns and how it is spent. And so yeah, really excited about that, but also a little bit nervous that it's going to be our first time in the bull ring, right? And just talking a little bit of lessons learned,
Claudio,
right?
Claudio,
Yeah, go right ahead.
I wanted to tell, don't worry, everything is going to be bad, but you're going to handle it.
Yeah. Well, dude, yeah, it's that's that's been the last 8 months. But
Yeah.
anyhow, no, man, we're glad. No, it's been, to be totally transparent, it's been a challenge, right? But we're like, that's what Lucio and myself came here to do, right? It is what we committed to the community. We committed to our backers that we're going to be launching a liquid staking solution that is running fully on a DAO, and that's what we're going to deliver. How is it going to be sustainable? That we need the community to back us and to give us feedback, right? And having someone that it's also doing the same process as you, Alex, is always good, right? We can always get the on a call and just yeah, exchange ideas. But one quick thing here, talking about lessons learned. Alex, can you share with us what has been the biggest lesson during this bear market? Right, and I know that Aurora has had its couple of challenges, right? I reckon one of the big challenges is the liquidity on the protocol, right? We've seen this as well in Metapool, right? We've seen it decrease quite a bit, kind of like stagnating. And so, what is the lesson learned there, right? And how do you see that as like a stepping stone for the next couple of months into pushing the envelope and making Aurora like arrive at the goal of the destination, which is a layer on top of near that allows EVM compatibility applications and projects to run smoothly, right? And leverage all the near tech. But anyhow, your 2 cents on that
Yeah,
one,
well,
Alex.
there are quite a lot of lessons learned for us, right? The bull and bear market are very, very different, and in general, it's not only for us that is different. It's also very different for users. It is also very different for VCs and in general investors, right? And in the bull market, investors are just willing to deploy as much capital as they can, and from that standpoint, they're putting it as liquidity. They are investing in projects and so on. In bear market, they're starting to ask questions like, okay, and what is the profitability? What is the exit strategies and stuff like that? So this is a very, very different thing. I would say that for me personally, uh, the biggest challenge is to keep everybody, especially in the company, but also kind of support the community, and in general try to turn them uh, from just watching the prices into something that is constructive, right? Because watching the prices is not very constructive, especially in the bear market. People are constantly feeling bad, um, and keeping the motivation and is something that is super, super important for any leader. And yeah, it's just like your day job. You need to execute this. This is one thing. Second thing is what I'm doing constantly with all of the projects in the ecosystem and with any people who are coming to me. And I believe many of you can some of you at least who have been coming to me with your project ideas. You can say that what I'm asking you is, okay, what is the business model? Who is your customer? Who is going to pay for this, right? And project need to understand this, right? Because an L1 is probably not the customer of your product in case you're doing some kind of solution, right? And then it's kind of your project is going to be successful in the long term in case you know who is your customer and you know what value you are providing to the customer, so they are able to pay for this value, right? So that's this is this is something that is also important for Aurora Labs, right? So our big focus is make sure that Aurora Labs is a financially viable company, and we are able to earn money, and we are able to exist without Aurora DAO, without kind of any support. We are able to execute as a normal business, but work on top of the Aurora stack and provide value to the Aurora ecosystem, right? And the more businesses like this are going to exist, the more valuable the whole ecosystem is going to be, right? You can think of this the following way. Take a look. Apple is an ecosystem because of the App Store. And there are tons of companies that are working in App Store. And many of them are pretty profitable, right? And they continue to be in App Store without without regards on whether Apple products are successful or not, right? Apple products already have quite a lot of people using them, and all of these users are the users are potential market for the companies who are deploying their products or and their software in App Store, right? And they are profitable. They don't need to get money from Apple in order to work there, right? They have their business model. It works perfectly, and then Apple has their own business model for the ecosystem, right? Now Apple is taking big cuts there, 30% and stuff like that. There are lots of ramble around it, but but Aurora essentially and the Near and any L1 is the same, right? There is some activity happening, and there is some payment to the protocol, right? In terms of the blockchain, this is a payment that is based on the transaction fees, right? So this is the ideal scenario, and I want every blockchain company to start thinking like, funny enough, a Web2 company, thinking about business models, thinking about the market, the opportunity, the product market fit, and stuff like that. We are very young industry, and because of this, we're sometimes forgetting about it. But bear market is exactly the right time when you can think again about it and try to move in this direction.
No, totally agree there, right? And that's where you're working towards sustainability. Sustainability means that you have a viable business model for the protocol. And in this, I think it's a reality check for everybody. Yes, nobody's handing out free checks anymore. Nobody's giving out this super big valuations, right? And so, and investors, of course, they want to understand where's the return on investment. How is this going to happen, right? How are you going to 5x, 3x what I put into it, right? And those are tough questions to answer. To be honest, it's just not something during a bear market. You put your thinking hat on and you start to look into it with a different perspective, uh, understanding like where value creation is done and how it can be compounded or composability behind it. And so yeah, so it's been a wake up call for everybody, I reckon. Mainly for many of us that came in uh, during the bull market, and now we're this is going to be. And actually, this is my second crypto winter. Even though the first crypto winter I lived it as a speculator more so than anything, but that's how I got exposed to Near. That's how I got exposed through a lot of the coin list offerings during that 2019, 2020. And so definitely really excited on the next leg of projects that are continue to be built, improved, and some of them even pivoting, right? And with this, Alex, I know we're talking about Aurora, but we definitely cannot miss the opportunity for people to hear your perspective on the blockchain operating system, right? I know it's been quite a challenge even for us to just understand how we're going to get involved with this new change that Near proposed, right? And so with this, I wanted to like understand your perspective on it. What's your 2 cents on it, and just how is Aurora getting involved with the Near Blockchain Operating System initiative, which, as for many of us here listening, was a big pivot that Near did last year, and then this year they're executing as much as they can with a few caveats. But anyhow, wanted to hear your 2 cents on it, Alex.
Yeah. Okay. So, so for those who do not know it, the blockchain operating system is a new initiative from Pagoda. And what they're executing there is they're trying to fill the void of the decentralized stack that can be developed within the blockchain itself. So the idea is pretty simple. As you can see with DeFi, what Ethereum enabled is the creation of a decentralized backends for applications. And these backends are the smart contracts that are executed on chain, right? This is, for example, how Uniswap is working, right? There is an AMM, its backend or the matching engine in between the seller and the buyer is working completely on chain. It's fully decentralized, and it's hard to kind of close it and stop it. And in general, it's just kind of ensures more trust in the product. However, it's not only the backend that is important for applications. It's also indexing services or the data stack around these backends, and also it is a front end or the user interface. So it makes sense to decentralize these two in order to transition to a kind of fully decentralized and trustless setup of the world. And this is what Near Operational System is trying to do. This initiative has multiple parts in it, but to simplify everything, you can think of it as a way to create decentralized front end. When you are able to upload your front end code, your JavaScript, on chain, and then this front end can be uploaded to or can be downloaded. Sorry, from the chain into your browser and display your website. From my point of view, this is obviously an interesting direction of the development. This is obviously a missing piece of the stack. It is not available at the moment, and it will be nice in case this piece of stack exists, right? We are supporting from our end uh, this this initiative as we can, right? Obviously, this is not something that is our product, but we are taking part in it. I would so what we've developed by now is, for example, a rainbow bridge front end was uploaded into the boss, and now every boss user is able to 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 transact over the rainbow bridge using the boss front end, which is cool. Besides that, we've developed, around 5 additional smaller widgets that are available there, and these mostly are going to be used for people who are building the indexing services around Aurora, right? So these indexing widgets are providing streams of Aurora blocks, transactions, and so on. Yeah, so these are the pieces how we are contributing in the boss. Um, in general, I think that this idea kind of needs to be validated, and we need to see how things are executed there. We are supporting from our end as any participant in the Near ecosystem. Yeah, and besides that, we are also pushing quite a lot of Aurora folks to use the social piece of the boss. We do, as far as I understand, we have Aurora. Aurora community is the biggest community in Near social at the moment, and there are quite a lot of updates that are posted there. I don't know the on-chain stats about this post, but there are quite a lot of information that is put there, right? So big shout out to Aurora's community team who are pushing these updates there too. Um, yeah, so let's see how this initiative is going to go. Whether it is going to be interesting for people to use. I see some interest, but let's see how whether it is going to pick up or not. At the moment, we are participating in it. We are providing all of the inputs as a normal, ordinary participant of the Near ecosystem, and let's see how it is going to go.
Yeah, it's an interesting bet that the Pagoda team made, right? In bringing this over to the blockchain industry, right? How can decentralized front exist as well as decentralized backends with all these smart contracts behind it. I think Ilya coming in as again a CEO of Pagoda and moving forward this one is important. Um, Definitely for us is we have been a little bit slow adapting to this new change just because we were so focused on the recent launches of staked Aurora. Also, as you see, we've had new front end as well. All the whole ecosystem. We paid attention to some of your comments regarding our color. So anyhow, we kind of made some changes there. So we're always listening to feedback, Alex. Um, and now, yes, we're also going and by launching liquid staking Aurora, that basically allow us to build on top of EVM compatible platforms such as Ethereum. So we're also launching on Ethereum staking later during June if everything goes to plan. We're getting everything audited. So also big shout out here. Thank you very much everybody for participating in the whitelisting of Staked Aurora. That should be coming off of whitelisting and ready for anyone to stake their Aurora later this by the beginning of June, second week of June, if everything goes well. So some alpha there. It's going to be available for everybody, and we're going to be putting some good farming rewards on top of Chrysolaris and also Origami. So really excited about that one. But yes, I think it's a very important first step understanding the tech stack behind Boss. We're still reviewing that one, but don't worry, we will be pushing the envelope there on everything related to DAOs. So definitely, we will be putting their voting for the Metapool DAO on Boss. So that's really exciting. We did an initial proof of concept with MetaVote, but then again, we're going to be relaunching an app there soon. So be ready for that one. Other than that, I think we're coming in close. I really want to be mindful of your time, Alex. I know you're a busy person, so I will be bringing somebody up. If somebody wants to ask a question, please request that, and I can put you there, and you can ask a question directly to Alex or myself. We'll do 2 or 3 questions depending on how deep we want to go into them. So, folks, if you can request, and then Francisco, who's hosting this through our Metapool account, he can put you in there as a speaker. So yeah, just so please do raise your hands and let's get this party started. Other than that, before we come in and bring people's questions into the space, Alex, any last remarks that you wanna talk about? Something you wanna give a little bit of insights to the ecosystem and to the communities gathered here today at this Twitter space?
Uh, well, first of all, thanks everybody for joining. Right, it's not. I'm saying this not because I want to leave now. Still want to wait for the questions. But in terms of the insights and in terms of some announcements, and probably many of you do know about Aurora Cloud. In case you don't, you can visit auroracloud.dev. This is a website uh, that is dedicated to Aurora Cloud. And one particular product uh, of that is, since Aurora Cloud is a set of products. One particular product there is called Aurora Pass, and this is a Web3 compatible wallet that is going to work with any instance of Aurora containers or Aurora chains that are now, 4 of them already launched on Near. So this wallet is going to be ready and available somewhere around the the general availability of the liquid staking on Aurora. So stay tuned. There will be lots of announcements around it pretty soon.
Perfect. So, any takers, Francisco, that want to come up and ask questions? Somebody raise their hands or not?
Here, Mike Purvis joining this Twitter space. So Mike is one of the super of the maybe less active right now, but I just want to do a shout out to him. He super talented and extremely great engineer. He was taking care of Nier a lot, so just shout out to.
Yeah, definitely, Mike. I saw him last year in Medellin at the Cosmoverse. So shout out to you, Mike. Really, really appreciate of all the great job you did. But we got here Crypto Grogs. Go right ahead. You can introduce yourself and ask your question.
Hey guys, yeah, great spaces. Yeah, so myself from Crypto Grobs, I'm one of the ambassadors there for Metapool for the EU region, and just wanted to kind of discuss maybe a bit of the decision by yourselves to allocate the staking rewards back to the community. It's quite a revolutionary step, really. It's something really that should incentivize people to get involved in the governance of the the DAO, etc. How do you see, let's say, the next steps? So, how do you see, let's say, us kind of developing that to gradually get people in, gradually get them involved, and I suppose as well, like if we were to look at some of the OG or the really big LSD solutions, either on ETH, like Lido Finance, Rocket Pool, Frax, of course Marinade as well on Sol. Do you see, how do you envisage, let's say, the Metapool DAO kind of develop?
Yes, thank you very much for your question. Yeah, so it's for us it's pretty straightforward, right? We've seen through this crypto winter that liquidity has stagnated. We've seen a few folks leaving the ecosystem as well. A lot of it has been because of lack of support or not lack of support, because to be honest, I've seen the Pagoda team, the Near Foundation team, the Aurora team really active. It's just that there are only a handful of folks, right? And a lot of petitions from everywhere. And I reckon you cannot go and support every opportunity that it's put on your table. Even now with Near Digital Collective, I think that's a great initiative. And so we're following through that, right? We're following that narrative, which is putting the community front and center. And what better way to do it than by putting the most precious interaction of value creation, which is the protocol fees generated by the liquid staking platform. Right now, it's only going to be on Near. Then we will slowly but surely move it up to Aurora, and then to other EVM compatible platforms that are being supported by Metapool. And so one of the big things here we're doing is we're first letting the ambassadors get a first bid on those protocol fees, right? Requesting, hey, I want to do X, Y, Z in order to grow the protocol. And then for the community itself to vote for some of your proposals. Eventually, at a second leg, we will be inviting active community members or community groups, such as for example, Banyan Collective. We will be also bringing in the Kenya hub, the Korea hub, and then we have other also some Near Digital Collective working groups. And so at the end of the day, it takes a village, right, to build value. And so we're putting that front and center, and it's going to be an experiment as well, right? Just we're alpha beta testing as we go. But as Alex said, 80% of that is not going to go well, and then hopefully the leadership team there and the Metapool DAO will figure it out how to best steer that in the best direction and the best outcome for the community. So thank you very much for that question, Crypto Grogs. We got 4 minutes here. I want to make it a hard stop. So Francisco, you have anyone else that wants to come up and ask a question, please do so. If not, then I think we will be wrapping this up. So I think we're ready to wrap this up. Alex, thank you very much for coming in. Really appreciate it. I know you were driving, so hopefully you arrive safe wherever you're heading. I won't be in Middle Asia. I reckon you're doing your tour of duty. So stay safe, fly safe, and we're also doing some staking parties there. So hopefully we'll get somebody from the Aurora team involved in them. But anyhow, thank you very much, Alex, for coming into this space. Really appreciate your insights, and also just happy that you're still like in an upbeat mood, and that the Aurora team is continue delivering and building, which is what we sign up for. So thank you very much for coming, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for inviting me. And I would like to give a shout out to one particular thing that is going to happen very, very soon. And Metapool and Aurora are partnering on this, and this is Encode Hackathon. That is going to happen very, very soon. You can find all of the information about it, for example, on Aurora Dev portal. So, for all of the hackers who are willing to participate in this is the first Aurora-centric hackathon happening there. And Metapool is one of the partners and the big partner within it. So you're able to check out the challenges presented, just the generic challenges from Aurora Labs, and also the challenges from Metapool there. So check out this hackathon if you're thinking on participating in some kind of gig around coding, right? Encode Hackathon is something that you need to Google for, or just find it on dev.aurora.dev.
Yes, you beat me to that punch. I was gonna close with that one, the Encode Hackathon. Really excited about that one. We're partnering with the Aurora team. We got some great bounties there. So really excited on what the near Aurora ecosystems and anybody interested in building on top of Aurora is can create during that Encode Hackathon. Really excited about that. Also, we're launching a couple of our MetaGeo platform is going to be launching 2 projects soon. So more news on that. Lorena and the team are really looking forward to that one. So make sure you check it out. Other than that, stay safe, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a great kickstart to the week. Stay safe and keep on staking.